Hello everyone and welcome to our podcast. Today, we're going to talk about something that affects everyone in the world, including you. We're going to talk about the economy. I know, that word might sound big or confusing, but don't worry. I'll explain everything step by step in a gentle way. I want you to imagine you are on a playground with children from all around the world. You all bring your favorite toys. Some of you have balls, some have dolls, some have action figures, and others might have puzzles or skateboards. Now, imagine if you wanted to play with a toy that you don't have. Maybe your friend from another country has it. What would you do? Wouldn't you ask if there's a way to share or swap toys? That, in a simple way, is one tiny part of how the world works when we talk about the economy and the global market. So, let's start from the beginning. The word economy comes from a Greek word that means to manage a home. But now, instead of just thinking about a home, we think about whole countries and even the whole planet as one big home. Everyone in this home needs things like food, clothes, houses, and toys. But not everyone can make or grow everything they need by themselves. That's when we need to trade. Imagine you live in a country where there are a lot of apples, but not many bananas. At the same time, another country has lots of bananas but not many apples. Each country has something the other wants. They can agree to swap apples for bananas. This is called trade, and it is a big part of the global market. But before we get deeper into trade, let's talk about how people make money and use it to get things. When your parents go to work and do a job, they get paid. The money they receive is called income. Everyone uses their income to buy things they need, like food from the grocery store, or maybe shoes, or even tickets to the zoo. Where do these shoes or toys come from? They are made in factories or by people called workers. People in every country have jobs. Some grow food on farms. Some build houses. Others teach children in schools, drive buses, or make movies. Each job is important in its own way. People use their skills and time to make or do things. Everybody contributes to the big story of the economy. Let's go back to our playground. Imagine each child on the playground represents a country. Each one is good at something special. Some are good at drawing, others are great at running, and someone else can sing very well. If everyone shares their skills and talents, the playground becomes a more fun and lively place. This is what happens when countries trade with each other. The global market is like our playground. It's the place where countries buy and sell things with each other. Now, let's look closer. What exactly is a market? A market is any place where people come together to buy and sell things. A market could be the farmer's market where you can buy fresh vegetables, but it can also be as big as the global market, where countries trade goods like cars, computers, airplanes, or chocolate bars. Here's an example. Let's say you have a toy at home. Maybe it's a small toy car. Have you ever looked at the bottom of a toy to see where it was made? Some toys are made in places like China, Germany, or even faraway countries you've never heard of. That toy traveled a long way to get to you. Many things we buy, like clothes, computers, and even fruits, may come from another part of the world. In fact, many countries are connected because of this trading and sharing. When a country wants something it doesn't have, it can buy it from another country. The country making things can also earn money by selling them to other countries. This is how the global market helps people all around the world. But who decides what to make and how much to charge? This is where things get interesting. In most countries, businesses and people decide what to make, how much to make, and for how much to sell. Sometimes, the government also helps by making rules. If lots of people want a new toy, the company making the toy will try to make more. If not many people want it, they may stop making it. This is called supply and demand. Let's imagine you have 10 chocolate bars, and 15 people want one. Since there aren't enough for everyone, the chocolate bars become special, and people may be willing to pay more to get one. If you have a mountain of chocolate bars and only 5 people want them, you might lower the price so you can sell them all. That's supply and demand in action. Money is also a big part of the story. We use money to buy things we want and need. Most countries have their own money, like dollars, yen, or euros. When countries trade with each other, they need to agree on how much one kind of money is worth compared to another. That's why people who travel sometimes need to exchange their money for another kind. You might give $1 and get some Japanese yen, or give €1 and get some British pounds. So far, the economy and the global market might sound fun, like swapping and sharing. And it really is exciting, because it lets people from all over the world work together. But sometimes, things can get tricky or even difficult. For example, what if there's a bad storm in a country that grows rice, and suddenly there is less rice to sell? Then rice can become expensive in many places. Sometimes, people lose their jobs when companies move their factories to other countries where it costs less to make things. That can be hard for families. Or maybe countries disagree and stop trading with each other for a while. Then people might not be able to buy things they want right away. The economy, like life, has ups and downs, just like a roller coaster ride. Even though there are challenges, the global market also brings amazing benefits. For example, because countries trade, we can eat bananas in winter, or wear t-shirts made from cotton grown far away. We can use computers and play video games made by talented people around the world. Sharing ideas, inventions, and cultures makes life more interesting for everyone. Now, you might be wondering, what makes some countries rich and others poor? That's a really big question, and many smart people around the world are still trying to answer it. Sometimes, countries with many natural resources like oil or gold become rich. But that's not always true. Some countries become rich because they have good schools, healthy people, and a system that lets everyone work together and invent new things. An important part of every economy is its people. When people can go to school and learn, they can grow up to invent amazing things. When people are healthy, they can work and build strong companies. If there are good roads, fast trains, and safe homes, people can do more, buy more, and trade more. All these things help a country's economy grow. But if people don't have these things, it's much tougher. Also, countries sometimes help each other. For example, if one country is hit by a really big storm and people lose their homes, other countries may send food, water, or money. Some organizations give out vaccines to help people stay healthy. When countries cooperate, it makes the whole world stronger. Let's come back to our playground again. Imagine if one group of children had lots of toys, but others had almost none. Would the playground be as fun as it could be? Probably not. In the same way, it's important for countries and people to think about how to make life better for everyone, not just themselves. But the global market and world economy are changing all the time. New inventions are changing how people work, travel, and talk. For example, think about the internet. Before the internet, sending a letter to another country might take weeks. Now, you can send a message to someone on another continent in seconds. And what about shopping? A long time ago, if you wanted to buy shoes, you had to go to a shoe store in your town. Today, you can find shoes from any country in the world on your computer or phone. You can choose the style and color you like best and have them delivered to your door. This is called online shopping. Online shopping has made the global market bigger than ever before. Now, small businesses in a little town can sell things to people in other countries. A baker in France can sell fancy cakes to someone in Japan, and an artist in Mexico can sell paintings to someone in Canada. That's really cool, right? Of course, with all these changes, there are new challenges too. Some people worry about pollution from factories and trucks that bring things all over the world. Others worry about people losing jobs when machines do more work. Some worry if it's fair that some people have so much money and others have too little. But guess what? People all over the world are working on these problems together. They are trying to find better ways to make things, grow food, and even share. For example, some companies are making electric cars to help cut pollution. Others are inventing ways to grow more food with less water. Now, let's imagine you are part of this big story. You are growing up in a world where countries are connected in more ways than ever before. The choices you make, the things you buy, the toys you play with, and the food you eat, are all part of the economy. You have a chance to make a difference. Let me tell you a little secret: you don't have to wait until you are grown up to be part of the global economy. Every time you buy something, you are helping someone do their job. When you recycle, you help factories use less energy. When you learn new things and help your friends, you are making the world a better place. You can even try trading with your friends at school or at home. If you swap your puzzle for your friend's comic book, you both get something new to enjoy. If you work together with others, you can create amazing things. Maybe you and your friends can set up a lemonade stand. You learn how much lemonade to make, how to tell people about it, and how to save the money you earn. These little activities are like practice for the big economy of the world. Let's think about the inventions that changed the way the world trades. The ship, the train, and the airplane made it easier to move goods all over the world. Today, computers and phones let people talk, buy, and sell at any time. In the future, there will be even more new inventions. Maybe you will invent one of them. Also, every country, just like every person, is different. Some places are rainy, others are dry. Some have mountains, others have flat plains. These differences mean that every country has something special to offer. Some countries are famous for chocolate, others for music, or beautiful art, amazing sports, or clever inventions. Because the world is connected, people can learn from each other. For example, one country may find a smart way to plant crops. Another might create a new game. By sharing ideas, we can solve big problems together. This is called cooperation, and it's another important part of the global market. Now, have you ever wondered about prices? Why do some things cost more than others? Well, prices depend on lots of things: how hard something is to make, how many people want it, and even how far it has to travel. For example, a toy made by hand might cost more because it took a lot of time and care. Or fruit that comes from far away may cost more because it needed trucks and ships, and workers to bring it to your store. But sometimes, prices can change very quickly. If there is a big storm and many apples are spoiled, apples might become more expensive. If a new kind of toy becomes really popular, the price may go up until more are made. Watching prices go up and down is another way that the global economy is always moving and changing. Also, there are people whose job is to help countries and businesses trade safely and fairly. Some belong to big organizations that make rules so that trading is peaceful and helpful for everyone. If one country tried to cheat or make it too difficult for others, these groups can help solve problems. When you are older, you might see words like tax, interest, and investment. For now, remember that when people make money, they also pay part of it to help pay for things everyone needs, like parks, schools, roads, or hospitals. That's a way of sharing the cost for things we all use. Now, let's talk a bit about saving and spending. When you get money, maybe as a gift or allowance, you can decide how to use it. You can buy something now or save it to buy something bigger later. When you save money in the bank can lend it to others who want to start businesses or buy a home. Everything is connected. Have you ever heard your parents talk about the news and say things like, "The economy is doing well," or "The economy is in trouble"? What does that mean? When more people have jobs and earn more money, they spend more. Stores and businesses sell more, and then they can hire more people. The economy is healthy. But if many people lose their jobs and don't buy as much, then businesses make less money, and sometimes have to close. The economy can go up and down, and governments often try to help keep things steady. All around us, there are important questions about the economy that people talk about every day. How can we make sure that everyone has enough to eat? How can we take care of the planet while still making what people need? How can we help people learn the skills for new jobs? These are big questions, and someday, maybe you'll help find the answers. Let's imagine the world as a big puzzle. Each country, just like each person, is a piece of the puzzle. When each piece fits together, the picture is clearer and more beautiful. The global market helps us fit these pieces together. We need each other to make the best picture possible. Think about what you'd like to invent or create for the world. Maybe a machine that uses sunshine to make food, or new ways to share toys and games with children everywhere. Remember, every big idea starts with curiosity, just like you are showing right now. The next time you eat a chocolate bar, or wear a new t-shirt, stop and think, where did this come from? Who made it? How did it get here? When you ask questions like this, you're already thinking like an economist, someone who tries to understand how the economy works. As you grow, you'll see new changes in how the global market works. Maybe you'll read about new inventions, or discover that people in other countries like the same things you do. Maybe you'll make friends from other places on the internet or at school. Remember, the choices you make can help make the world economy stronger and better. When you are careful about not wasting things, or when you are kind and fair in trading and sharing, you are making a difference. When you learn new things and try to understand how other people live, you help build a world where everyone can grow and thrive. So, the next time you play with your friends, or enjoy a yummy meal, or even help with chores at home, think about how everything is connected. That's the story of the economy and the global market, a story that you are part of every day. Thank you for listening today. I hope you enjoyed learning about how the economy works, how the global market connects us all, and how each of us, no matter how young, can help make our world a better place. Stay curious, keep asking questions, and remember, you are an important part of our global playground. See you next time.